The Druid of the Forest, a tale of magic and adventure. Once upon a time, in a land called Eldrida, there lived a young girl named Elara. She was born into a family of powerful sorcerers and was expected to continue the family tradition of mastering the arcane arts. However, Elara had other plans. She had always felt a strong connection to nature and had a deep love for animals. As a child, Elara would often sneak out of her family's castle to explore the enchanted forest that surrounded it. She would spend hours observing the creatures that lived within it and learning about the plants and trees that grew there. She knew that she was meant to do something different with her life, something that would allow her to be closer to nature. One day, while exploring the forest, Elara stumbled upon a group of fairies. They were in distress because their home, a beautiful tree that stood at the heart of the forest, was dying. The tree was known as the Heart Tree and was said to be the source of all magic within the forest. Without it, the forest would wither and die. Elara knew she had to help. She used her powers to heal the tree, and in return, the fairies promised to teach her the secrets of nature magic. Elara spent many years studying with the fairies and became a powerful druid. She learned how to harness the power of the forest and use it to protect and preserve the land and creatures that lived within it. She also learned how to communicate with animals and how to control the elements. As Elara grew older, she realized that her powers were not limited to the forest. She could use her magic to heal the land itself and make it thrive. And so, she set out on a journey to restore the balance of magic throughout Eldrida. Elara traveled to the four corners of the land, using her powers to heal the sick earth and bring new life to the land. She battled dark sorcerers who sought to use their powers for evil, and in the end, she emerged victorious. She also helped the people in many ways, from healing their illnesses to bringing rain to the drought-stricken areas. With the balance of magic restored, Eldrida thrived once again. The people were happy, the animals and creatures of the forest lived in peace, and the land was bountiful. Elara settled down in the forest, where she continued to use her powers to protect and preserve the land for all eternity. The people of Eldrida remembered her as a hero, and her name was passed down through the generations as a symbol of hope and magic. And Elara, the Druid of the Forest, lived happily ever after, watching over her beloved forest and the people of Eldrida. She was content in the knowledge that she had fulfilled her destiny and had made a lasting impact on the world. Years passed, and Elara's reputation as a protector and guardian of Eldrida continued to grow. People would come to her with their problems, big or small, and she would always find a way to help. She became known as the Lady of the Forest, a title of respect and reverence. However, as the years went by, Elara began to notice a change in the forest. The trees were not as tall, the animals were fewer in number, and the rivers were running dry. She soon realized that the Heart Tree was once again in danger. It was being threatened by loggers who were cutting down the trees for wood and by a group of dark sorcerers who were using the tree's magic for their own gain. Determined to protect the Heart Tree, Elara rallied her friends and allies in the forest to her cause. She enlisted the help of the fairies, the druids, and the animals to defend the tree. Together, they fought against the loggers and the dark sorcerers, protecting the Heart Tree with all their might. The battle was long and grueling, but in the end, they emerged victorious. The Heart Tree was saved and the forest was once again at peace. However, Elara knew that the fight was not over. She knew that as long as there were those who sought to exploit the forest for their own gain, she would have to be vigilant and protect it. So, Elara decided to establish a group of rangers, whose sole purpose would be to protect the forest and the Heart Tree. She trained them in the ways of nature magic and taught them how to track and hunt those who would harm the forest. The rangers quickly became known as the Forest Keepers and were respected and revered by all. With the forest safe, Eldrida prospered once again. The people lived in harmony with nature, and the land was bountiful. Elara, the Lady of the Forest, lived a long and fulfilling life, dedicating her days to the protection of the land and the creatures that called it home. And when she passed away, her spirit was said to have merged with the forest, becoming one with the land she had loved and protected for so long. And so, the legend of Elara, the Druid of the Forest, lives on, inspiring generations to come to protect and preserve the land and all its inhabitants, so that the balance of magic can be maintained and the people of Eldrida can live in peace and harmony with nature forever.